Did you go to the studio? I'm interested in that.
No, you see these gadgets, they were smuggled in for me. I had to make sure that, fortunately, people who did it are no longer alive.
Yeah.
I asked them, from my record company, I need these things.
Yeah.
And then I had to record whilst the prisoners were asleep at 2, 3 a.m. I had to do these things. Then obviously I had to suggest some sounds for them to actually blend these things. But I recorded an album titled Born Free, Always in Chains. I was in prison. No one has done that. That was my act of defiance, because it was clear. If I was going to be granted
that was during the 7 years.
Yes.
Were you praying in prison, or did you pray?
I'm a prayer warrior.
You're a prayer warrior.
I think in Zulu we say we serve a God of impossibilities. I think I would not be here if I can't live. I can't behave like I'm in a godless world. One. I'm not shy to say, man, I have evidence that there is a living God, right? All my assassination attempts, the grenades, the 9 bullets, I've gone through all of them. And I have reason to believe that God is alive. The non-believers and atheists will never understand that. At some stage, I was even the secretary under Pastor James Chikane at the AFM. Now I'm part of Change Bible Church. I'm just giving you example that you should know. Mina now, we are not like animals. We are not like Abonokwacha and no. We are made in God's image. And if you are made in God's image, we are programmed, designed to be successful like God. If God is successful, God is a winner, God is a victor. So if God has given us everything, apples, bananas, gold, diamond, gold, copper, ezeitu, they are ours. But if these things are not in our hands, like in this country, South Africa of mine, where we've got 54 registered minerals, it means it's one of the richest countries compared to Dubai. Maybe it's one is oil.
Yeah.
But people are the poorest. People of my color. Now Dubai is one.
Yeah.
Desert to a paradise.
Yeah.
Something is not right.
It does not have minerals that we have.
So then something is not right. You are making God a liar, and we cannot blame God. God remains blameless. Whenever people are quiet, whatever happens, whether you can blaspheme God, no one can no one will tarnish God. No one can overthrow God. The problem is me and you, but God remains blameless.
People say the church is quiet about a whole lot of things. Yes. What is your take on that?
The church is quiet, I agree. When people were, during the apartheid struggle, the church occupied the center stage. Bishop Tutu, you can name them. Dr. Alan Busak, Father Mkat, you can Reverend Mcebisi Kundu, you can make Kosam Kot, the list is endless, isn't it? Now, it is very strange. The church even became a threat. That is why the apartheid regime bombed Kanya House for South African Catholic Bishops' School, bombed Khosi House, South African Council of Churches. This is now under apartheid. Post 94, the church is toothless. The church is quiet. That is why now we have Kabula Church, Satanist Church. Yeah, okay. The church is just quiet. You know? I'm saying, this is our land. We title deed, birthright is ours, right? The church is quiet. You don't have to rely on politicians to talk about the question of the land. When Nkulunkulu blessed a nation through Abraham, you can check the church history. It's the land. But in South Africa, Silindeni, the church is quiet. During COVID, 9,000 kids. I didn't know a kid of 14 years would fall pregnant. 9,000 kids during COVID, they had 2 years. Fell pregnant, teenage pregnant. 9,000. And of this color.
Yeah.
The church, right? As we speak today, HIV and AIDS. How many countries are in the African continent? 54.
Yeah.
South Africa is number 1 in terms of HIV. 7 million.
7 million.
7 million. Even last week it was continuing. Minister of Health continued. 7 million. And KZN of yours is number 1 from those days when I did the KwaZulu Natal album. Now, something is not right in this country. Let me talk about Utso clever. When they rape, You talk of police statistics. Rape.
Okay. No.
In a game reserve, Dr. Duan.
Yeah.
Animals, lions don't rape springboks.
No.
We made it Cosimate. All these rapists, when they rape our own people. You must show me the state where they rape other people of other races. They rape our own. Is it self-hate? It's cowardice. Something is not right. But every week inside, even this morning as I was coming here, there's a pastor now linked in the Sowetan. A pastor raped a child in another province. But every week there is a pastor involved in some kind of a rape or something. The people, now it helps those who are anti-God, anti-Christ. But about the church is quiet.
Now let's talk about the church that is quiet, the church of today. Is it the real church? Is it a holy church? Is it the church of God? Or is just another imposter? Or a church that comprises imposters?
Yeah, there is a Isaiah 65 where it says, these people run with the message yet that did not send them. That's God.
Yeah.
The manifesto, politicians talk of their manifestos. My manifesto, it's Matthew 25. What will happen towards the last days? Because when Christ talked about there will be earthquakes, no one knew what was an earthquake. There will be wars. What is a war? All these kinds of things. It's there. Now, 2025, beware of false prophets. They will even mislead the believers. Now, you had Bobo Bushiri,
Yeah.
You've got people.
All the imposters.
Yeah, no. But fake guys,
Yeah.
There's one was a Textor, Batosan.
Yeah.
That one would specialize with recruiting people from a Joburg, a wheelchair. They will choreograph, rehearse, prepare these people nicely. And then we come church time, the guy will come in a wheelchair and will ask how long have you been on a wheelchair? He'll stand up and then begin to come with fake things. There is a man that I will always respect, Pastor Ngidi, Richard Ngidi. He was something else.
Yeah.
He would not come, and even Pastor Kodisang from the Sud. There are those people that are genuine, but it's a small percentage than these thugs. There are these sharks, fakes. That is no wonder why then the Bible says not everybody says Lord will enter heaven. Yeah. Because it's clear we are infested with it. But again, there's another part why the church is quiet. Are you aware what is Soweto got? Again, like similar African continent, every township has got not less than 100 liquor outlets, more than churches in the area. Ezola, many churches, Naledi, many churches, Dlamini, there are more liquor outlets, and so the church is outnumbered.
So during COVID-19, the church was closed and bottle stores were closed.
Okay. They had an upper hand. When everything was closed down, these guys were tavern associations and stuff. Those are the guys that were vocal. And the government had to listen to them. When you talk of a priority list, that is why the liquor stores out there were given priority before the churches. If the numbers were not the same, yet people forgot when things were tough in this country, it is the church that occupied the center stage, that kept the hopes, the fires burning against the apartheid regime. But come 2024, after 1994, the church, and then you don't have to pray at school anymore. That is why they kill each other. The teacher can be killed at school. It's using the middle finger against God. I'm saying again, they went to macro. People were singing, Sangena, when people were told now they were allowed to buy liquor than people going to church. So it's unfortunate that people forget the role of this church, and the church of people who are genuine. The Bishop Tutu was old, he's passed on. Those are the people that when you write the history of this country, like about Isaiah, about Joshua, they stood. Like about Elisha. About Elisha did not keep quiet. They had to execute the false prophets of God.
You're talking about the Bible, and a lot of people do not know you as a Christian. They know you as a poet. So they know that
I have there's a song that is gospel.
Yeah, but we do not know. People do not know whether you are from a cult church or you're from a Christian church. People need to know if you are you born again.
I have mentioned Pastor Ngidi.
Yeah,
because I am I was the secretary of the Apostolic Faith Mission under
Okay.
Ubabu James Chika and the father of Frank Chika.
Yeah.
So that's me. So I normally say you can never talk to the wrong person about Christ Jesus. That's me. I'm not this person when you are asked in a public space and say issues of religion is a private matter, no, Holy Trinity. Maybe because I've seen everything that has happened to me, the miraculous escapes and assassination attempts in my life. So I have a reason. I'm the last person who would shy away and not tell people about Holy God or Trinity, a God that I'm his child. I'm me. You know, I'm this person that, during the past, even when I would try to become, I don't know how to put it, but I do not conform to certain standards of this world. And as I said earlier on, I'm a member of Change Bible Church under Pastor Colanzo. Let me give you another. You have somebody who will sing gospel music, but will never attend. You know, blasphemy. You'll still ever find a gospel artist, but we start.
You see, I'm going to change the tone. The church that you're talking about, and the God that you're talking about. There's so many questions about this
God.
Belief and God that you are talking about, and the Bible that you read. Most of the paintings that we see, paintings and pictures of God and Jesus and those paintings by Leonardo da Vinci and of angels, white angels. You see white angels, you see white Jesus, and you also see white Adam. So is that the church that you're talking about? Is that the God that you're talking about, the white God?
You know, we talked about the moment of truth and contextual theology.
Yeah.
So in his case about Paul, when they had problems with women wearing heels, it was during prostitution.
Yeah.
So my contextual theology.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean when somebody is wearing earrings, they're a prostitute.
Or if that person is bald-headed, a girl, a woman who's bald-headed.
Yeah. So I think that is why I'm saying contextual theology. Yeah. Okay, Abu Bishop because he used to say certain things in line with what I'm talking about. Because if I said to you earlier on, there's a thin line that separates us from Sodom and Gomorrah. We are not in Sodom now. We are not in Gomorrah now. But people have shown me that God can be violated. They can use a middle finger against God. People can not afford to spend 1 or 2 hours just giving God the glory, but they can spend 24/7 in other activities.
Mzwakhe, is God white?
Yeah, no, it's not white. I think that one is much, that is clear. I don't remember seeing if there are graphics that even tell we are made in God's image. It's neither Gentiles nor Jew. Fortunately, I do not subscribe to all the paintings I've seen in the past where you'll see Passover, these guys are white, everything is white, angels are white, you know, those kinds of things. No, I don't believe in it. I believe in a theory that says, only if you live right, you may qualify. I want to believe Moses or Elisha wanted to meet God, but it was good you can't see him and live. I don't see my back.
Yeah.
But
Moses, that was Moses.
if we live right, I want to believe good. Those who endure to the end shall be saved. Those who endure to the end shall be saved. Now, my issue is, I'm saying just to give you so that not answer a message that people normally say as an answer. If you live right, you'll be able to qualify one day to ask God about why, Tina, we suffer so much in the world. Because you'll qualify. But if you're a sinner, an atheist, you'll never have that dialogue. Yokubuza ukuthi why thina besihlupheka abanye bephila kahle benemali sifa thina singama victims of tragedies. Because today if you had to talk about a child that is being poisoned or food poisoned, men I would always say I know it's the skin color. Anything is the skin color.
Mzwakhe, you know, people will say I'm very soft on you.
Yeah.
And
bring the hot ones.
I need to bring the hot one.
Bring the hot ones. I've said already I don't say God is white.
I heard you saying that. Yeah. So this God that you know and that you believe in, where does he come from? Yeah.
You know, during my detention in 1988, something happened. Okay, there are dialects. I'm going to people who write Chinese. The writings are like what, or Japanese dialects are not like me. Right? But because when I'm a bookworm, I read a lot, either about the church history. I read. I want to know about the Nazi Holocaust. I read. Muhammad Ali, why the Beatles were so famous than other people. I read. Who was Fidel Castro? I read. Malcolm X, I read. Now, I came across these writings that are not the same as mine, because when I write A or B, the dialects are not the same as the Chinese ones, right? And I know that the Bible was written in Hebrew. English, those are other translations in Greek. Right? But there's something that happened to me during my detention, the worst one in 1988. You talk of load shedding today. I stayed in prison for almost a month. There was no lighting. When I was in Pretoria, I'm sure that was 3 weeks where there was no water. We used water from fire hydrant, or sometimes we won't touch one bucket. We'd take water from the toilet. That's me. That's us. So the 1988 experience for me was something else. The Mail and Guardian, in fact, the one that even has your photo, Sisongo Smart, in a part, but
me and you,
yeah, in a part, Mbuli developed before Mbuli was released. Mbuli, it's there that article written by Adrian Hartland. Okay. Mbuli developed deja vu, hallucinations, they call it. I didn't know what to say it. Mbuli, myself, 1988, Mbuli, there were pigeons before he was released, 2 doves, 2 pigeons, yes. I told them what was happening. In my case, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are 5 here. I would dream, the dream will repeat itself 3, 4 times. I would dream maybe a security branch man wearing this kind of a shirt. Monday, I sleep. Tomorrow, same thing. All right. Then 2, 3 days later, I will see exactly vividly, not just a dream, there's a vision. This guy opening the cell, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, exactly that thing will happen in my cell.
And was that a vision?
No, it's I dreamt.
Okay, you dreamt.
Right? Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. What will happen Thursday, Friday? Then during the time when there were no lights at night, there was something like, I don't know whether in a movie or a 10 Commandment where the effects, you see something on the wall, from there, I don't know what happens on the wall. So in my case, there were these writings that were happening in my cell, of solitary confinement. But it's fire coming, and then to the wall, and then these things, when I can't read them, right? I could not read them. And there are days I won't say them here publicly. Of the numbers about me. As an example, I won't give you the exact one. Maui 4, something happens to me from 1988. Maui 20, that thing happens, something happens. So there are dates as E2. It's coming from 1988. Of these things, so I'm saying, the 9 bullets, something happened similar. Rehearsal, rehearsal. One was washing, Washimoto. Someone long Washimoto, long shoulder pants. Washimoto, basically, mountain at the windscreen is right, shoulder pants. Do I fit la? In a week's time, 2 gunmen will be shooting my car in Mabeza. Shoulder pants. So I think it's how, what spirit is that was guiding me? I'm not claiming I know Elohim, I know God, but give me, there is something in it. I can't say, you know, when I was in prison, some rapists and serial killers died in prison. It made me, because maybe I didn't tell you at the beginning, I have a questioning mind. My father, my rapists and my serial killers in prison, I would ask myself, Dr. Tuani Pumi. So I'm saying, reason, when my mother passed on, she would say before she died of pancreatic cancer, she saw you in Mbuli, telling my other brothers who did not attend a church like us in AFM. But when I pass on, your church should not be at the graveyard. You saw me now, look at what I was doing. Always make an example.
Yeah.
So now, don't make a shortcut and think when I'm dead, I'll replace God.
So
yeah.
Okay, so what you are saying is that God exists,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You believe in the
Yes,
existence of
yes,
God,
yes.
that there is a supreme being.
And give me not because somebody told me.
Yeah.
No.
And it's
There
not
are
because
things
of the Bible?
ezenzakale kimi.
Yeah.
Ezenza ngafuna ukuthi le is beyond the Mbulis. It's something above my parents.
Let's close this one before we go to Siaba Kumbula. So you're talking about God, you believe in the existence of God, you also believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Or maybe let me say this also. That's important.
Yeah.
Religion has a capacity to reduce the size of God. Doctrines, nama uniform,
Yeah.
have a capacity to reduce the size of God.
Okay.
Because if I culture, I favor this soccer club, La Liga, a Bundesliga, uhlala. So no mongenza nagezwa. So nalana ile sambato. My family church. No, then we are limala because then it's either it's an idol between you and your God. Anything that you put before God meaning have a problem. So I do not subscribe then. My uniform, I do not subscribe to my doctrines, I don't. Kiming a personal thing would how come I've survived 6 assassination attempts basing God does not exist?
Mzwakhe, you're saying doctrines are formed by men, not God, right?
Yeah, no, they are men.
Okay, fine. Now, let me ask you this question about Jesus before we close. And before we close, we're going to go to Siaba Kumbula. Is Jesus the second person in the Trinity of God? And if Jesus is the second person in the Trinity of God, did he die for the whole world? Or he died for a certain percentage of people to go to heaven? I always ask this question, but I'm asking it from a different angle from you. And please help our viewers out there. Did Jesus die for the whole world? Or he died for a certain percentage of people who go to heaven? And there are other people who will not go to heaven because he did not die for them.
No. I mean, I want to assume that spiritually speaking, but God is the truth or spirit. If Jesus died, okay, let me not even put it this way. I want to assume God is for us all.
Oh, it's for us all?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it gave me ease because remember, as I said in my book, I know that Buddhism was there 5,000 years before Christianity and stuff. Yeah. So the crux and the denomination of them all, or the common feature of them all religions, no matter other can Allah, but it's God. So give me it's a God of us all. You want to like man, we have seen genocide live. And yet Judaism is based on infinite peace. But people who lived under this people who believe infinite peace were blown to death, bludgeoned for 70 years to this day about freedom. Now they were born to be massacred, to be killed, to be humiliated as we see today.
Here's another one, Mzwakhe. Don't you think church leaders of today need to be equipped and be perfected, or they need to equip themselves by reading more? And how, the second question would be, how are we going to deal with imposters? Because imposters have become an integral part of the church.
You know what the question is for me?
Okay, I want to hear.
Inzima for Banyaba.
Okay.
But utsotsi notsotsi usilimi utsotsi bayazi badlalele phi ubani olahlile abadlaleli ngapha kuIslam.
Okay.
Why is that?
Okay.
Bayazi ngapha khalindula.
Yeah.
Bala bulelwe la ko Christianity. Somebody when's he joke what where are you? I'm struggling in Africa. Where about? But in South Africa, open a church. So kulahliwe. Dlalelana ngapha kuMahomet buzu Salman Rushdie dlalelana akudlalwa ngapha akudlalelwa la amajiji jihadis mujahidi alana kudlalelwa la kodwa ngale kudlalelwa khona manje it shows ukuthi la kulahlile. I don't think Bishop Tutu would have been quiet if bekhona labadlisa abantu izinyoka damaditol utshani spray ngedum, but laba bakhona bathulile.
Yeah, but what is you as a Christian, what is your take on that?
It's in my album.
Yeah, but I want you to tell our viewers, what do you say to our viewers about these people? No, you say it.
No. I'm saying, give me, the church needs the spirit of Nehemiah. The fighting spirit of Amadela Gufa. The church needs the fighting spirit of David who destroyed the Goliath. The church needs the fighting spirit of Elijah who executed the prophets of Baal, 400 of them. The church needs the fighting spirit of Gideon. That is the church we're talking about. You go in the Old Testament. I don't think if I was a pastor, man, I was going to be quiet. But I spoke out. I even spoke up when things were legalized. This is wrong in this country. So I'm just saying I'm glad. Album. I have a track titled Religious Mamparas. It says it all. There is no parole in hell.
Where can people get your material?
All social networks, they'll find me.
Before we close, I think I'm going to ask you to come back again. Mzwakhe, siyabakumbula. What is siyabakumbula?
We remember them. Siyabakumbula means we remember them. I did the research 2007, 8, 9, 2010. I launched Siyabakumbula Awards, Gallagher State, and I just realized, there are people whose legacies cannot be buried by the grave or a funeral. Their role in the society will live long. Some people would have been having a migraine today if it was not because of either rain, Velaphi or Ndaba Mhlongo. They entertained us about Esintswelang, Arthur Maisel, Joma Fell and them. So I thought it is important for us to have a special category among ours, which is posthumous awards, where we immortalize the legacies of these sons and daughters of the soil that kept us and that made us proud, even during the hard days, the dark days of apartheid post-democracy. Than to have awards when you have these other awards, the same template. We are just reminded, we lost Gwanga, ladies and gentlemen, we lost Zahara, ladies and gentlemen, you pass, No, I thought let's do justice and educate and people to understand, remember who these people were. So that is why there is even a book, it's Siyabakumbula Awards, which we launched last year. And now all the people we have honored from 2010, whether it's in Twilling, Ndaba Mhlongo, Percy Kobos, and all of them. I thought it's very important for us to remember our own and document our own. And if all goes well, this kind of a book with this kind of history, people will begin to know as going. This book can be appropriate to be prescribed and about Shakespeare, if not talking about low caste and other things that are just meaningless to the capacity and the mental being of a child.
Does it happen every year?
Yeah, it's annual. And we after COVID, we started Galak, and then 3-4 times at Galaka Senate Convention. We came back after the COVID. We were a Sunbed Arena. Last year we had the Senate.
Which entities are supporting it?
So far, it's, when we started, I started them on my own, 2010, with no sponsor. But I had 1 or 2, 3 million, I think, which I utilized, because you can't say I have a vision, I don't have money, I won't do it until somebody gives you money. Then the following year, the city of Joburg was still intact, they helped us, and then arts and culture came, but later, and then the person who has always been a fan of these awards is Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesotho. He has been there for us, and but as a fan of the awards. But only 2023, then he became a person who becomes the partner of the awards even this year, 2023, 2024. And then I want to believe there's a 3-year deal that will either enable us to go until 2026. And then last year, somebody came to our rescue when we were in a crisis, Dr. Patrice Motsipe. Yeah, he came and assisted us. So we hope we'll make an application for this year going forward. Yeah, but I see that.
Which month are you going to have it this year?
Only if subject to the venue.